A young golf pro returned from his honeymoon with his new bride not talking to each other. The pro went to work the next day, and his boss asked him how the honeymoon go. Okay at first, but I was single for a long time and wasn't getting used to being married yet. What do you mean, not used to it, said his boss. Well, after we finished having sex, I put a $100 bill on the pillow. It was just habit, and I didn't think twice about it. Oh shit. Wow. You are in trouble. Maybe your wife will feel better with time? Hell, I'm not concerned about her. The problem I have is she left $95 change. Jesus was relaxing in heaven when he noticed a familiar-looking old man. Wondering if the old man was his father Joseph, Jesus asked him, "Did you by any chance ever have a son?" "Yes," said the old man, "but he wasn't my biological son. He was born by a miracle, by the intervention of a magical being from the heavens." "Very interesting," said Jesus. "Did this boy ever have to fight temptation?" "Oh yes, many times," answered the old man. "But he eventually won. Unfortunately, he heroically died at one point, but he came back to life shortly afterwards." Jesus couldn't believe it. Could this actually be his father? "One last question," he said. "Were you a carpenter?" "Why, yes," replied the old man. "Yes, I was." Jesus rubbed his eyes and said, "Dad?" The old man rubbed his eyes and said, "Pinocchio?" A woman goes to her boyfriend's parents' house for dinner. This is to be her first time meeting the family, and she is very nervous. They all sit down and begin eating a fine meal. The woman is beginning to feel a little discomfort, thanks to her nervousness and the broccoli casserole. The gas pains are almost making her eyes water. Left with no other choice, she decides to relieve herself a bit and lets out a dainty fart. It wasn't loud, but everyone at the table heard the poof. Before she even had a chance to be embarrassed, her boyfriend's father looked over at the dog that had been snoozing at the woman's feet and said in a rather stern voice, "Skippy." The woman thought, "This is great," and a big smile came across her face. A couple of minutes later, she was beginning to feel the pain again. This time, she didn't even hesitate. She let a much louder and longer fart rip. The father again looked at the dog and yelled, "Damn it, Skippy." Once again the woman smiled and thought, "Yes." A few minutes later the woman had to let another one rip. She let rip a fart that rivaled a train whistle blowing. Once again the father looked at the dog with disgust and yelled, "Damn it, Skippy, get away from her before she shits on you."